Hello, it's 1:38 p.m. Wednesday, October 3rd, 2012. I don't know how to begin today. This is going to be a combination of personal chat and campaign progress. I'll begin with the campaign progress. I missed today's morning seminar to teach me how to use the software and provide me with the software in the case that I were to raise $100,000 or more in my campaign. I missed it. I came there, I woke up at 6, I went back to sleep, I woke up at 12, I got in my car at 1, I spent 3 hours driving there. This is hectic. I missed that whole thing. The next time they're going to hold this is in April. And April is how many months away? I do not know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 months away. That's okay. That's okay. I don't need a great deal of money for all this. And problem number two, I was planning to have money in my PayPal account tomorrow so I can deposit money to Oliver for the work that he's going to be doing. And I found out that, well, they're going to find out officially tomorrow, or somebody's going to tell me, that I might not be allowed to use PayPal as a form, as a place to do expenses. It has to come from my account, my bank account. Now that's a problem for me because if I have to send somebody $200 in a different country, me sending them $200 is an automatic $50 fee, international wire transfer. Then there's a currency rate transfer, which is I don't know what it is, and there's so in order for me to send $200, it's going to cost me at least $50, and it's just it's not worth it. If I have to do that, I have to do that. But with PayPal, I don't have to pay that much money. It's cheaper for me. It's cost effective. And then I raised up this question with this woman who was there, and she was older, and if she watches this, her name is Nancy, and it upsets me. It really upsets me that a person has spent 30, 40 years of their lives being a secretary. No one in their lives, through the process of them working in government, said, hey, do better in life. Do not do this secretary work after 10 years or after 20 years. But he can't do that. You can't have people like, I don't know how you cope with people like that. If you in an organization, in the business, it's easy. People get better and you pay them more money. But in government, it's stagnant. You can't pay people a lot of money in government. It's our tax money. Um, I had an issue when I parked my car. There was this black man, older black man, probably in his 40s, with a cane and some tattoos. He was like, "Hey man, give me 60 cents." I was ignoring him. Then I was opening my pack of cigarettes, and he's like, "Oh, give me a cigarette." And I was like, "Fuck." So I gave him a cigarette, and he's like, "Oh, give me $1 now." And I was like, "Oh, what the?" Like I was like, "He just gave you a cigarette. You want $1 from me?" He's like, "All right, give me a light." And then I just walk away, and then he goes like into panic mode. He's like, "What is this? You giving me a light? You gave me a cigarette, but you can't give me a light? Like, what is it? It's like you're giving me a light, but no cigarette." And it blew his mind, and he kept like, I just started to walk fast away, but he was threatened me, and I just got so angry. I think if I had a gun, I would have turned around and killed him. Uh, I just it got me so ticked off that like I just gave him something. Now he wants more, and I wanted to tell him like well, what's the deal here? I'm younger than you. Why are you asking me for this thing? I don't know what part of your life it all went wrong, but you and then there was obviously other passing people passing by, and he kept asking all of them, what kind of life is that? I know there's some serious problems that somebody needs to intervene in this person's life and fix internally, like in his heart and his mind. But he's just one of millions, I think, of people like that in our society and on our planet. Of people like that, they've just been so neglected their whole life. They've been. Hmm. Oh, so then I spent 3 hours driving back, and I made it to my board of freeholder meeting, and I didn't expect there was going to be a lot of people there. There were a lot of cops. And I got up and I said what I wanted to say to them, and I'm going to see if I could get the clip, because I think it's going to be on TV. So I'm going to try to get that clip and put it up on my YouTube of me like going up there, and I was wearing like some funny pins and like a funny hat. I didn't actually expect for them to have like the camera there, and I, at the very least I expected an audio recorder, but they had like a full team out there. They had a camera, they had somebody writing everything down, they had a photographer, and they had a lot of things on the agenda. And one of the things that one of the most important things that they had on the agenda was in the county of Bergen, the county that I live in. I'm going to find out tomorrow morning, because I ended up leaving the meeting. But after a while, it just got too crazy, because after a while they started talking about breast cancer awareness, and I was just like, really, you're gonna like waste this time to talk about this? There's a lot of people here. You talk about breast cancer awareness. Um, I think at this point in time, everybody is aware that there's such a thing called breast cancer. I mean, there was such a heavy campaign in American society, TV, advertisements, everywhere. I think everybody's aware breast cancer exists, and it's important to check. There was a guy, and he talked about one of the members. 3% of the victims of breast cancer are males. So I started to check myself. I knew a man once who had breast cancer. So what's happening in our Bergen County is there's a plan, like they're decided today if they're going to do it or not, to eliminate the Bergen County Police Department. One of the unique features of our county, and across all the states of New Jersey, is we have two police agencies within the county. We have the Sheriff's Department and we have the county police. And the county police do a lot of different things. For instance, they have the K9 unit, which drug sniffing dogs, bomb sniffing dogs. Two, they have a bomb unit, bomb defusal unit, because each of these little municipalities don't have the resources to have all of these little things. So there's a county agency that spreads it all out to all the municipalities. So they have a bomb defusal unit or whatever. They have a SWAT team. They have a forensics unit. They do all the forensic DNA work. They, if there's a crime, the county police would come in and they do all the fingerprinting and all of that stuff. They also have a sex crimes unit. If anybody's familiar with Law and Order, think of it that way, more or less. Not, obviously it's a dramatized show. Dramatized, yeah. And there's a lot of embellishment. And then a couple of other things that they do. And the Sheriff's Department does a whole different thing. It's not like they're doing the exact same thing. And they're not, many months ago I was concerned that they're grossly overpaid. These people, they make easy $130,000, $140,000, $150,000 a year, only after a couple of years. It's a lot of money. It's like to be a cop. All the benefits too, overtime. I just have a concern that they're grossly overpaid, but I don't want to eliminate them. No. Very bad. Or combine them with another department, because it's going to create some problems. The way that they had it planned out, they didn't have a plan. So this board of 7 elected members of the county government, they didn't necessarily have a plan for this. Their plan was to let the executive director of the Sheriff's Department and the executive director of the county police department figure it out. The actual elected members had no plan in place other than that. Just let them figure it out. I mean, no plan. You have to have some kind of plan, because I mean, you have all these functions that the county government does, and you have to transfer them over to the Sheriff's Department under one branch, and there has to be some sort of a plan. What happens to all the officers of the county police department? what happens to all the it becomes a mess. And some people, there's a lot of people for that aspect. There were a lot of people from different counties of New Jersey telling them like, hey, we did something similar 10 years ago, and now we have all these problems so don't do it. And of course, you know, a lot of people went up and said a lot of different things, but they don't care. I kind of saw that just, just doing their own thing without any regard to what anybody has to say, and without any regard to, you know, is this the best idea to do? It's just like, oh, this is an idea, let's go with it. It's just like, oh, we have an idea, let's do it. As opposed to, you know, let's have an idea, let's talk about it, let's build on it, let's, you know, see if it's workable, etc. I mean, that's the way that it has to be done in, you know, elected members in government. That's the way it's supposed to happen. They're just like, oh, I have an idea, do it. Especially like with the idea like this, eliminate this agency completely, not reform it, not. And there was a woman there who was at the meeting I had with the board of social services. I believe she's a social worker there, and she asked me, you know, what am I doing here? And then I showed her my book, and it was written, you know, campaign elect me for General Assembly 2013, and she's like, oh, self-interest. And it got me kind of sad, really, because not necessarily. I mean, I guess. I mean, it's not necessarily out of my self-interest that I'm doing this. It is, but not entirely. So I think that got her sad. So the next meeting for the social services, I might want to just say something to her. So she doesn't. I don't know. I just don't want her to feel sad. That because she seems to be a hard worker, and you know, she raised up a very interesting point. She's a social worker at this agency, and I didn't know that they did this. I was trying to figure out exactly how this agency functions. So from time to time, the board, Bergen County Social Services, they do send people out in the field to go to certain people's homes. And she raised up this point that they don't have any security and they don't have any training in terms of how to protect themselves in case they get themselves in compromising positions. So she said like a few years ago they had the county police come in and they did some training, but she's been trying to get something going together so somebody could come in and teach all the social workers who go out to these homes to how to better protect themselves or what to look out for. And it's such a like I felt you know now I feel terrible now that you know that's what she wants to do and that's what she wants to get done, and I'm you know like I feel it and you know, I don't think it's gonna happen. If the you know if the last time it happened 3 years ago, it's just so sad that it's just so sad really that it's just that we have a lot of people who are just out for themselves. So that's why with the whole thing self-interest. No, I'm not out there just for myself. If she could watch this, but so I'll have to let it go and be patient because this particular agency is going to be my personal project. I'm going to see what I can do with it. The next meeting is in a month, so that's that. I'm going to have to do that. So after that, after I left, I realized I was hungry, and I wanted to eat with somebody, and I didn't have anybody to eat with. So I came home, I got myself a sandwich, so I wanted to maybe possibly go to a diner, and then I realized then, you know what, I could call Caitlin just on an off chance that she would like to have dinner with me. Probably not, but I don't know. Um, I realized that after I got my food. But tomorrow I'm gonna see my ex-girlfriend, so hopefully that's gonna give me some company. Um, and hopefully it's gonna be like nice. I'm gonna feel better after I see her, not worse. Um, but I had some good news. The clothes that I ordered from Express came in, and we're gonna open them together. Um, I ordered 2 pairs of slacks and a tie. And a tie clip, because I don't have a tie clip. Though I did request from a family member to get me a silver tie clip. Silver. But for the time being, I'm okay with using stainless steel. So let's see. Yeah, it was a good deal. I got 2 pairs of cotton slacks. Slacks. Pants, slacks. Men's slacks, cotton stretch. Very comfortable. Uh, for $45 each. So they're very good. And here they are. There's one of them. Size width 36 and length 30. They're actually valued at $60, and I got them at 45 each. Chin chin, chin chin. Because, oh, and they sent me some cologne. Ooh, it's fancy one. I probably won't wear them for a little while. Because these, so I'm going to have 3 pairs of slacks, which is going to be good enough for me. I don't need any more. I have shirts. I mean, I might need to maybe get 2 more shirts. I have enough ties, and maybe get 1 more tie. And in terms of clothing, and maybe get one more pair of shoes and 1 more jacket, and then I'll be set for clothing in order to do my campaign effectively. And if I get elected, when I get elected, maybe buy some more clothes. So let's see this first. The tie thing. It comes in this like little bag. I feel like I'm a girl opening up all the stuff. Made in China. Yay! Thank you, Chinese. So, oh my god, this is like a ring. I have to, oh, and then here it is. It's a tie clip. So it's important to have these little things like a tie clip. It makes you look more professional, and at the same time, when you're out and about, your tie dangles, wind, and it just moves around and it gets all messed up, and you gotta fix it, whatever. When you have a tie clip, I don't think you have to do all that stuff. It's very nice. Very happy that I got this. It was a good move. It was a good financial decision to make. Cost effective. The jacket though is going to be a little pricey because and a vest too. So let me just run some numbers, because the shirts I can buy from Target for about $15 or $20, and they're good enough. I don't need like very expensive shirts because I just don't need them. With the slacks, it's more important because with the shirt you have the jacket that comes over it, or in some cases the vest. So it's a little insignificant, really. Same goes with the ties. I'm not a fan of expensive ties. I'm more of a fan of a cotton tie. Not cotton tie, but I don't like silk ties. I don't see, like, the silk ties are a little off, like, weird. I don't know, they just don't feel comfortable, they don't look professional. The jacket's gonna be quite expensive though. Maybe a little, like around $100 maybe. I don't know where to get it though, because at Express they're priced at like $260. Men's Warehouse ripped me off twice. They just don't care what I want. They just get me to they convince me to buy something I don't want every time I go in there, because they have very like good sales personnel, I guess. Just I walk in there trying to get one thing, and I walk out like with garbage that I don't want, and I realize much later that it's not something I needed, because I already have a jacket that I bought from Express that somehow I got tricked into buying. I didn't realize it so much later. I didn't want it. I don't like it. I hate it. Um, live and learn. Oh, for the wine, I ended up exhausting this bottle right before the video, but I didn't have a chance to open up my wine journal because I just don't have the time to do that. I want to do it. I don't have any time. So I ended up purchasing a big bottle for $14. Beringer, America's favorite white Zinfandel, California 2011. It's extraordinarily cheap, $14 for this big thing, but it's probably not the cheapest thing that I could get. And question for thought is it a good idea to drink cheap wine? Is it beneficial for my body to drink cheap wine? I don't know. It's sweet wine though, and I want to kind of transition into fruit wine. Hold on, I need to get a lighter. So on my way back from my car, I gave it some thought that once that Charlie's using the bathroom. I probably shared this before, but once the website gets going, create like a recruitment package, start looking for people to get involved in the campaign through Craigslist, through just going traveling, or locally going to different places where I could possibly find some educated intellectual people or self-motivated people who are somewhat conscious that we have some problems, and we need people to be solving them, and do that, and through websites, Craigslist, Monster.com. And if that doesn't work, then just do everything by myself, and just simply just get rid of a lot of these things that I would have liked to do in the campaign, and just go door to door and hope that some people that might be interested in getting involved or have family members, younger family members or whatever, and they would get involved. It's very interesting that I raised a very interesting point. When I was on the floor speaking to the board, I raised up a very interesting point that all the people on the board there was like two of them, three of them in their 60s. The rest of them were in their 40s and 50s, and they all had young like 18, like in their early 20s, secretaries, and obviously they call them executive aides or whatever, but it's a secretary. Um, and I raise up the point, why aren't those secretaries in these positions? Because you only need to be 18 years of age to be elected for um, the the board of freeholders, the county of freeholders. It's a really nice job right off from high school. I mean, in terms of money, you make a lot of money at a very young age, and you get a tremendous amount of experience in networking, and just you just build all the skills and experience as you go along. I know one of the person on the board, he was talking about like, oh, he's moving up to the Senate, state Senate, in the election cycle that I'm going to be planning on running for whatever district. I don't know, because the county is broken up into 4 or 5 legislative districts. And I finally figured out the terminology. So we have legislative districts in the state of New Jersey and all states of the Union, and then we have congressional districts, and congressional districts are in regards to Congress, U.S. Congress, and legislative districts are in regard to the respective state legislative bodies of government, because that's our system of government. We have a court plus legislation plus judicial, legislative, executive. I wanted to keep it simple. Courts, uh, collection, like a Senate, and then it's just better, I guess. Judicial, legislative, and executive. I need to organize my notes that I did for the past 2 days, and I need to organize my very little contained working space where I have about like 6 inch by 20 inch working space that I write, but I use like a book to write. Don't worry, I'm not exhausted yet. I'm just slightly. It's this road bump. This bump really offset me. The one with the. I can't use my PayPal as an additional depository to act as a depository should be able to be. I mean, they what it's called is they have an advisory opinion on. They do there's a board for the state election law commission, and they do advisory opinions on certain things that are controversial or the system that's in place does not have the rules or guidelines for. So they printed out me all like 2 advisory opinions that that stipulate the guidelines of an internet banking like structure like a PayPal. And the guidelines they have set forth are in regards to me raising money using the PayPal account, using the internet based system to raise money. But there's nothing in it in regards to me spending money from it. And if there is, I plan to challenge it by the advisory opinion, and if not by them, to then take it to the courts. Challenging them through the advisory opinion will take months, probably 6 months. Challenging it through the courts might take 10-20 years, because in the end of the discussion, it's my I don't know. I just needed to work that way because it's cost effective that way for me to be able to use PayPal to. Well, there's two problems here. Using PayPal to pay somebody or a service. And then the second problem, which I'm trying to keep a very low profile on, is the fact that my campaign is going to be paying somebody in a different country to do a service for me, which is unprecedented. And I'm trying to keep a low profile on that part because that one is the one that I will take and do what I can to the United States Supreme Court if it takes me 20 years. Because that one's very interesting. Because, well, why? Why can't you find anybody, within the country to do what you want to do? Why do you need to go overseas? That's the problem. That's the problem right there, is that I don't and I can't find somebody here to do what I need done. The quality that I expect it to be for the price that I'm willing to pay. And that's the free market system, internationally speaking. That's how it works. No, not that's how it works, but it's there's a part of it is like that way. That's what it is. And because them denying me that right they don't have the power as a government to deny me that right. America's not a closed country. We're part of the world economy. So I would need to look up the respective laws in that respect. And that would be the basis of my argument. The government does not have the power and the right to tell me I can't do that. They should not have that power to deny me that. In today's day and age, they do not have. I mean, that's what I'll fight. And we'll just have to figure out the laws. That's like, I'm against affirmative action. The more I think about it and the more that it comes around to me, that's like, the government telling my business, telling me how, oh, I need to make sure I have one Japanese, I need to have one African American, I need to have one German, I need to have blah, 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 blah. Well, if I can't find anybody, then what? Well, we still need to have one. But I can't find anyone who's going to be able to do it the way that this person's able to do it. It's just because I'm going to keep it personal. I want to talk about policy. This is policy talk. This is not politics. This is policy. This word politics. It's not good. It's not good to be doing politics. Yeah. Government is of, by, and for the people. I need to call the spam that I was supposed to see 2 days ago. He's either renting out his house or he's renting out something. He's renting a second floor, a second floor of a house that was within my budget. I just need to see it because he gets home after 6 because he works during the day. And today I didn't have the chance. Yesterday I didn't have the chance. And the day before is when I was planning to do it, but then I got caught up in some things and it slipped my mind. Okay, it's the 30th. It's the 4th. It's only the 4th. It's 12:14 a.m. Oh, so now I have the time. I can just go over this a little bit better. I had this idea. Well, even before I emailed Christina, uh, just to not just to kind of think about it more. Maybe she gave me her business card where she works, and she gave that to a lot of different people at the place we went to. Now, I guess it's creepy if I were to actually show up there and say hello, but you know, my intention is not to cause harm or to do anything harmful to her. Yes, she might think I'm creepy and whatever, and that'll be the end of it. But at the same time, in doing so, I can teach her a very valuable lesson that maybe she shouldn't do something like that, because if she gives it to the wrong person, because we have a lot of wacky people that actually would do something like that, would go and stalk her and then cause some harm to her. At the same time, it might be a good field trip for me because it's somewhere. Oh my God! It's actually, I know where this is. Not I don't know where this is exactly, but um, hmm, it's closer than when I thought it was. It's actually in New York City. It's Midtown. Could be a good field trip for me to kind of get away from this area for a day. Not a day, but half a day. Walk around the city, maybe take some take some video. Might be useful. Might be fun. Um, because I can't imagine that most of this is very interesting for anybody. Because it's very serious what I'm doing, and it's too serious. In all honesty, this is very serious stuff uh, that's happening here, and I don't think I'm doing a good job making it or presenting it simpler or easier to digest or understand. Yeah, so go there, say hello. Actually, it's not as crazy as I think it was, New York City. I can even just go, I'm just passing by, wanted to say hello and see this place. Actually, very not creepy. Because if I were to actually run that with my friend, who's like, oh my god, I was just a little creepy about that. I mean, I just submitted my document for my campaign, so now I'm out there in the system. Um, my address, my phone number is public information. Somebody can look at it and tick 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 tick. Hello. Oh, and Obviously, if the assumption is it'd be for good reason that somebody would do that. Maybe to tell me something or to join or whatever. I put a smiley face on my form when it asks you for the political affiliation. Traditionally speaking, you used to have Republicans and Democrats, and I said that on purpose. You used to have, because it's I mean that's within our lifetime, or within my lifetime to accomplish, to eliminate this system completely, this democratic Republican system. Oh, I did run through, I had this issue because I would like to recruit on the physical level a lot of high school students for my campaign. At the same time, get the teachers involved. Very important to get the teachers involved because they're very important people in our society, teachers. Uh, so what I can do is I can set up a table right outside the high school in a place where after school maybe or before school. There's a few places like it has to be all strategically thought out where most people exit and teachers exit usually at a different place because they have a parking lot, and so I might have to do it two tables, I mean one table, but I would have to, for that particular school, I would need to kind of figure it out, maybe even have two tables if I have somebody else to help out. um, Brand some some pens, some notebooks, simple things like that, and for them to take into the school and to use and to write, because notebooks are expensive. And then add some, factual. You have some pamphlets, and in the notebooks have some useful information. That some notebooks you buy, the more expensive ones, on the cover or in the back or whatever, they have some useful information, like let's say the metric system, some common formulas, for instance, to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, Fahrenheit to Kelvin, or Celsius to Kelvin, etc. It's a simple mathematical formula I don't have in my mind. Um, explaining these simple mathematical things like how many grams are in a kilogram, 1,000 kilo for 1,000. What's a microgram? It's, um, the conversions between the metric system and the American system. Um, what else do they have? Things along that line. But add some. But I would add some basic government stuff. How does our government work, and explain that. And put age requirements in certain positions to kind of plant the idea that after high school, after they graduate, they have another option. They don't have it. They don't have the option to go to college, military, get a job, flipping burgers at McDonald's, get a family job, some just family business that is, and the fifth, get into government with no education, with no university education, no college education, and you get yourself in that government position, and you take night and during the times you can, you plan out your schedule, you take college courses, and you work on getting yourself a college education because you don't have much money, because generally speaking, the people who join the military, they don't have any money to go to university or college, and it's an option for them, or it's something that's attracted. They are attracted to it for a multitude of reasons and complexities. They want to maybe do something important with their lives. They do that. Um, but the fifth is government right away. You need to be 18 years of age to be a mayor or a council member or Board of Education member, even though Board of Education members are unpaid. I don't see why not. I don't see why they shouldn't be paid. They don't have to be paid a lot. Pay him $30,000 a year salary. That's enough for an 18-year-old to live on. Um, Sit on the board of the county. They have the energy, they have the dedication, they have the time. You can realist at 18, they could, within a month or two, they can hit all the homes. Door-to-door campaign. No money required. Just a single piece of paper that they would show to each person, and that's it. I mean, there's some more complexities in it, and my plan would be is to have it figured out for them to help them out. We have a website set up that explains everything in regards of New Jersey state of New Jersey Election Law Commission. Some of these things I'm bumping into and overcoming and learning. A great deal of learning is taking place. Because it will require them to travel to Trenton and take a seminar to get themselves certified so they could be a treasurer. Speaking of which, I ended up getting the correction for my form. I'm very happy, did it on the spot. It's very nice. So they corrected my spelling of the name. So now I can take that certificate with my high school diploma and associate's degree and put it in the garbage. Because those papers, that's what they are. They're not worth anything. They should be worth something, but they're not worth anything. A lot of people think they're worth something. A lot of people in school today, they think that it's going to be worth something. And I mean, for some, they might get lucky, but for the rest of them, they'll quickly realize that it's worth nothing. No one's going to hire them because they have no experience. Yeah, they have a master's or a bachelor's degree, but they have no experience. Unless it's something technical, liberal arts. It's more of a personal understanding of life, and with a degree like that, I mean, you can get yourself a job anywhere, but not like anywhere. There's just a limit on. I don't know. I'll stop there. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. I felt bad though at the board meeting. It took me a while to kind of. I'm getting better at this. I felt bad for the people who were who actually, I don't know, like they're just coming to the understanding that, our government is broken, and they're much older. I was one of the youngest people there. They're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Now, there was somebody in that board meeting from a campaign called the Citizens Campaign, and they have done some interesting things. I looked over, what was it? I looked over something that was written about them on the Wikipedia, and there was a member there. He was an elderly man, and they kind of some of the members of the board They weren't very nice. They didn't answer questions for a lot of people. I mean, and it seems like some of the people are just coming to that understanding, and they're much older. And I guess it's better sooner than better. I mean, it's better now than never. I guess that's what I wanted to say. I think the internet played a huge role in the discovery um, that government really isn't what it makes it what the people in government make it out to be. Um, because now you have a venue um, to see it for what it really is, versus seeing it on the television or the radio or in person at some event or when somebody's giving a speech. Of course, it's always going to look the best, but when you had the internet that came along, all this information, some which I mean, there's a lot of information on the internet that's very what's the word? Polarized, maybe. Hmm. One-sided. Kind of like a statement like, our government is broken because we have Democrats in charge. Let the Republicans win and things will get better. Our government is broken because the Republicans are in charge. We need to get rid of the Republicans and put in the Democrats, and then everything's going to be honky-dory. Like a statement like that, which is very, it's on the internet, it's very alive. I don't know who I'm going to vote for this year. It's going to be my first time I vote, and I don't know who to vote for. Because they're both bad, and doesn't seems to be a third person or a fourth person or a fifth person to select from. So what do I do? Do I not vote? Do I still go vote and I just put my name or put someone's name that a lot of people are going to be putting down? For instance, like, I never thought I would say this, but I mean, if you had Ron Paul in the election, I think he would win as the third candidate. I really think he would have won. He would win. Not because everybody agrees with him, with everything he says. He has some very interesting points that he brings up, and they're very valid in terms of our government's too big. It is too big, and it's very ineffective because it's too big. All the taxes, I completely support him. I want to eliminate that here. Not all the taxes, but most of them. No reason to have all these taxes. No reason. Like, I don't agree with this. I haven't looked it up yet, but if I get elected and, I serve my 2 years, I have to double check this. I think it's only available for Congress, but I get life insurance for the rest of my life, and my family gets it as well. Similar to what the military gets in terms of the Veteran Association, but I don't get the quality of the health insurance is one of the best qualities of health insurance that's available. I'm completely against health insurance in general, but I would be given that for the rest of my life. Why? I don't see a reason for it. They just created that for themselves. Because it's not that I just get it for myself, I get it for my family. And that's very expensive. Think of a family of four, a wife, 2 kids, health insurance for life. How much money that is going to cost? Well, my salary is 49,000, so let's say 50, plus 110 a year for my staff, so 160,000, and my health insurance policy is $40,000 a year. That's being spent for my health insurance policy. Now I could get, just as is right now, I'm pretty sure the public health insurance policy is going to be implemented in the state within the next 2 years. Is the cheapest one, I think, is going to be $1,000, $2,000 a year for that health insurance policy. Now, I'm pretty sure I could get like a standard average self-employed health insurance policy for about $4,000 to $8,000 a year, and I'm pretty sure like businesses, corporate businesses, they have like a policy of maybe $10,000, $15,000 per employee, that type of standard. But mine is going to be $40,000 a year. Kind of like, I'm sure, the higher up execs of some of these fancy schmancy corporations, I would suspect they have policies that are maybe $50,000 to $100,000 a year. Because if it's any higher than that, it'd be much cheaper for them to pay out of pocket, pay cash. There's a very interesting insurance company in London called Lloyd's, I think, and they offer extravagant insurance policies for celebrities and very expensive people, very rich people. Like, they have a rape insurance policy where if you get accused of rape, they pay for the settling of it outside of court. So you pay like a monthly premium, or every 6 months or every year, and when you get accused of rape, they pay for the lawyer, and they try to settle it outside the court by paying the victim that you raped money, so you don't get criminally charged with it. Skydiving insurance for people who go skydiving. There's no insurance available in the United States because what kind of insurance? I mean, it's a pretty risky thing when people go skydiving. Accidents are prone to happen, and it's a loss of life. So they offer skydiving insurance. Anyways, it's 12:38. The video is 1 hour long now. I'm gonna go to bed, I think. And tomorrow I'll figure out what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Adios.